Hey guys, what's going on? This is Sergeant Merrill, and I just got this magical moment that I'm going to share with you guys. Here it is, the sonogram to find out whether me and my wife are having a boy or a girl. And God, this is just such an awesome moment. And it's off-putting. You know, you're watching this, and you're like, what am I even looking at? What is this? Did you see the face? It's kind of creepy, right? You know, you're taking a look at your child before it even comes out. You know, it's kind of weird, but you see the nose there, and you can kind of see the mouth, and this is just such an interesting process. Boom, there's the face. Does that look a little creepy? So you're like, oh my God, my child is going to look like an alien. But it's not. It's a sonogram, guys. So I mean, this is just kind of taking a look at. You're not going to see exactly the way your baby looks. You'll see bone structures. You'll see organs. And it's just this really interesting thing to take a look at your child before it comes out, you know, and I just wanted to share this awesome moment with you guys. So when you go in to find out the gender of your baby, you know, they're doing a lot of other different measurements before they get to that point. So you'll see her, she's measuring, I think this is the stomach that she's measuring here. And she's making all sorts of different measurements. And after they're done doing that, making sure that all the organs are working correctly, 10 fingers, 10 toes, that's when they try and figure out the gender of the baby. And you may not always get the gender of the baby. You may not always know because what they're looking for is they're looking for that boy part. And they may not always get. Look, there you can see the foot. Ah, man, isn't that awesome? You can see the foot just chilling inside of there. Boom, look at that foot. See both feet? See, now you can really see it here. It depends on what angle they come at. So there's my child, man. There is, and I'm going to save it for whether it's a boy or girl when we finally figure it out. So what they're looking for is they're looking for that boy part. And if they don't see it, they kind of guess that it's a girl. You know, they kind of say, look, can't find the boy part, so we're going to go ahead and say that maybe it's a girl. And that's what happened with our last child. They're like, we're 90% sure that it's a girl. Check it out here. You can see the spine. You know, that's kind of creepy, right? You can kind of see some of the ribs depending on where in the sonogram they're what depth they're aiming at. And so that's the process. So if the foot's in the way, you're not going to be able to tell. You know, if the umbilical cord is in the way, sometimes you see that umbilical cord and you're like, holy shit, that's a penis. That's my boy. And they're like, no, nice try. That's the umbilical cord. So it's a really interesting process, and it's nerve-wracking because you want to know, you know. So much depends on the sex of the baby. You know, what color the room's going to be, what type of gifts you're going to get, you know, names. It's so frustrating, not really frustrating, but it's much more time-consuming trying to figure out a name if you don't even know what the sex of the baby is, because that's like, you know, twice as many names that you're looking at, and you got to figure out if it's a boy, we're going to name it this, if it's a girl, we're going to name it this. So some people choose not to find out the sex of the baby for the excitement of it. And we are just not those people. You know, one, we wouldn't be able to handle it ourselves. And here she's taking a look at the heartbeat. Heartbeat's good to go. We're not those people ourselves, but also I think that's cruel to your family, you know, because they don't know what type of gifts to get you. Look at the face there. You see the head? Did you see it? Oh, man, I'm sorry. This is like better than game commentary to me. This is like... I could do sonogram commentary on my baby all day. Look, there's the face. You can see the spine again. They're rotating around, making sure that the heart's beating correctly. If you look directly in the chest, you can kind of see the heart beating there. You can see you can see that beating movement. And I think here is where they're going to try and figure out if we're having a boy or a girl. And man, I'm telling you, it's like where's Waldo? You're like, where is it? So now she's rotating behind, and she's trying to get a view from under, and she's going to look up, and we're looking for that magical body part that says it's a boy. And if it's there, it's a boy. If not, it's a girl. So here we are. We're looking from underneath. It's kind of a very probing angle. See the two legs sticking out. You know, trying to get the right depth. Booyah, baby! That's a penis. And the nurse was even nice. She's like, boy parts right there. Boom. That's a boy. And me and my wife, we weren't exactly sure at first. We're like, are you sure it's a boy? And she's like, look, put it like this. Either it's a boy or it's a girl that's starting to grow a third leg. And I'm like, that's my boy right there, baby. This is probably incredibly embarrassing for the child when he gets older. You're like, oh yeah? You think you're a man? Look at that. I got footage of your baby penis. That's so terrible. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to share this really special moment with you guys. I'm going to be passing this to my family, to my friends. And this is just going to be one of those really awesome moments that I'm going to be able to look back on, years to come. And that you're going to be able to look back on years to come. Guaranteed, a couple years down the road, I'll have footage of this child pounding noobs on Xbox Live. And you are going to be like, man, you know what? I knew that kid since he was in that Sonogram video. And I think it's just going to be a really awesome thing. So thank you for sharing this with me. Thank you for being fans. And thank you for all your support, guys. But that's all I have for this video. This is Sergeant Merrill out here.